We're here today at Tilbury Bridge Walkway of Memory. My name is EVEWRIGHT, I'm a visual artist, and we're here at a really interesting space because when I discovered the bridge, I was invited down by the Port Authority to take a look at when the installation made or was thinking about it. And I visited this location about maybe 2 years ago, and it had the original station here, and I was looking around and I remember it being really untouched. And then when I went to the space, it was literally painted over. A film crew had painted it. But then they pointed me to this location, go, have you seen the walkway? And I walked onto it and I saw the fact that it was glass, it was a greenhouse on a sort of metal structure, and it was clear glass. And but I thought, wow, it really inspired the sort of like the vision of trying to create something interesting. But what inspired more than ever was the fact that this was one of the original walkways that was used when the Empire Windrush arrived in Tilbury. So it was a gift. You could say it was a gift in a sense. But what made this installation more interesting was the fact that putting a call out to 130 people around the country and look, send me your imagery, send me your family photographs, send me pictures of your mother and father, your grandfathers, etc., from that Windrush era. And we just got so many contributions. And I just was seeing a pile of imagery and a pile of recordings. I thought, what do you do with them? You know, how can I put some order to this? So I kind of arranged the imagery in a sort of like chronological order. So in a sense, you're walking from the ship and you're walking to the coast, walking to the land, almost like the journey what a passenger would have taken. And that's how the images are arranged. And it's just, yeah, and you know, and then I sort of made 21 sound windows on the bridge. So you can actually, the whole idea is that you would take a story and you would just literally walk a journey. As the images sort of like wash over you, you walk from one end of the bridge to the other. But also, if you go to the beginning of the bridge, you have Alfred Gardner. He is the eldest and one of 5 passengers still alive who actually travelled on the Windrush. And he's also featured at the end of his life. He's still alive, but he's featured as 94-year-old at the end of the bridge. So you're not only walking through a memory and story, you're almost walking through a sort of like the bridge becomes a metaphor of life itself, almost like a young man. He arrived in Britain so full of energy, vitality, hope, coming to Britain to rebuild this country. And then at the end of the bridge is the elderly man now. So it's a metaphor of life, you know, the bridge is that metaphor. And you travel that journey when you walk on the bridge. And it's broken, and the bridge is how it originally was all those years ago. You know, it's decaying. It's almost again another metaphor, a symbol of Britain at the time. It was broken. It needed that input from the immigrant, you know, from the citizens from the Commonwealth. And so, to me, it was just an honour to be able to, with kind partners. We've got the Arts Council who supported us last year. You've got the Windrush Grant, and you've got Creative Estuary who helped fund us, and also the support of Essex Cultural Diversity Project. All these people and many more who really helped us but put this project together and make it a really vital part of the cultural discussion, conversation in Essex, and hopefully rejuvenate sort of discussions around Tilbury and how important it is as a testament, as a destination for everyone within Britain, as to say, look, this is one of the most important places in Essex that you should come and visit, because this installation is a public, it's free, and you know, to me, it's been an honour to actually, as an artist, to make such a work. This bridge is dedicated to my mother, Clarice Agatha Reid, who died last year, and Don Sidney, again, who died last year. These citizens were amazing contributors, not only to my installation, but to Britain. So please come down.
My name's Ione Richards. I'm a producer and I work with Artist EVEWRIGHT on this amazing installation, Tilbury Bridge, Walkway of Memories. And my involvement with the project has been from the beginning, really, when we started work with elders in Colchester, and we produced some work there, collecting stories. And I was just amazed by the quality of the information that they were giving us. And we were just so privileged to be able to share the types of things they were talking about, their lives, their careers, the difficulties and the successes that they experienced coming to England and building a life. And from that initial project, which was held at the Caribbean Takeaway in Colchester, we then moved to a couple of other spaces. And the work we do is very site specific. And it's quite important for us to find spaces that's accessible to people within our communities. And it gives them a place where they can also feel an ownership. It's not intimidating, and it's a way of celebrating them. So this bridge is the fourth in the series, and it enables us to expand that work, doing a wider call out for stories across the UK, and we've got many stories on QR codes on the windows within the installation. So people who come here can listen to extracts of the variety of stories of people who came from different Caribbean islands. We've got mixed stories of mixed Caribbean people all over, and it kind of reflects the diversity of the people that came and contributed to the life and to building the UK. So, you know, I'm just privileged to be able to work with Artist EVEWRIGHT and to share in the work that's been developed with the elders.
So I'm Dipak Mistry. I'm the Visual Arts Relationship Manager at the Arts Council, and my role is really around helping and supporting visual arts in the southeast area, and I am kind of responsible for looking after the key organisations that we fund, what we call the national portfolio organisations, and supporting them through their development and how they engage in the region as well, really. So yeah, I mean, this is the Tilbury Walk of Memories by EVEWRIGHT, Everton, the artist, and it's been a long time in the coming, really, and he applied through project grants, really. And I think the idea is that this was something that he wanted to do and celebrate. He'd managed to agree Tilbury Docks to allow to use this space, and especially this particular walkway, which is where a lot of the people from the Windrush was dropped off and embarked, you know, came into this country. So it's a very poignant kind of an iconic kind of place, really. And his work, really, and you can just might be able to make out, is he's created a kind of archive of memories from people who came on the Windrush, photographs, passports, all sorts of things, really. So that was his concept and idea, and he applied through project grants to make this happen, really. And in terms of the application process, you know, the kind of things we would have seen would have been be able to see the kind of connections he'd made with various organisations, the kind of relationship he'd developed with the Tilbury Docks, and you know, the project grants application would have been ideal for this kind of project to take place, really, because it's very specific, you know, has a time element to it, and we know that also it's public, you know, because the Arts Council funding is public money, really. So any activity you're thinking about, you need to think about how public engage. And this is exactly that, really. You know, this has been available for the public to come and see and to, you know, bring their family, and also to really, and it's a good cross between visual arts and history, you know, our kind of history as well. So it has that kind of heritage mix as well. And that's really nice to see, that kind of both that collaboration. And so really this kind of project falls really well within project grants.